Good afternoon, guys. I am Harshita. I'm here going to explain about the basic concepts of JavaScript. The first one is the objects of a JavaScript. There are different types of objects. It consists of object literals, constructor functions, built-in objects, and DOM objects. Here I also mentioned that object literals uses curl braces, constructor functions uses new keyword, built-in objects use array, date, etc. DOM objects use HTML elements and documents. What are the object properties? Object properties involves data properties and accessor properties. Data properties means storing values. Accessor properties means define getters and setters. The object methods are function and inheritance. Functions means to perform actions on objects. The next one is how to create an object. Here are two types, object literal and constructor function. In object literal, we used a constant person equal to some name and age. We get an output of name. The next one is constructor function. Here we used function person. In this also we used age, name, etc. The next one is built-in objects. Here we used array and a date. The next one we are here to explain about accessing object properties. We can access object properties by using dot notation or bracket notation. In dot notation we use dot, and in bracket notation we use brackets for the name. The next one is how to modify an object properties. In object properties there are two properties, assignment and delete. Assignment, we assign a name or a value to a person or the function. Deleting means we delete some information from the existing information. The next one is what are the functions in JavaScript. The functions are a reusable block of code. It performs a specific task. They take inputs such as parameters. They also execute a code and return outputs. The characteristics of functions are reusable code, parameters, return values, scope, hosting. Reusable code means it can be called for multiple times. Parameters means it accepts inputs. Return values means output values. Scope, that means it has their own scope. Hosting, these are declarations are hosted to the top. Types of functions. There are five types of functions: function declarations, function expressions, arrow functions, method functions, constructor functions. Function declaration means function name, brackets and curly braces. Function expressions means we use constant name is equal to function brackets curly braces. The next one is arrow functions. Here constant name is equal to bracket is equal to right arrow curly braces. We also use method functions and constructor functions. The next one is function components. The function components are name, which includes function identifier, parameters, which includes input variables, body, that means the code is executed, and the return statement. It means it contains an output value. The next one is function invocation. It involves calling and arguments. Arguments means to pass the input values, and calling means to execute the function code. Function scope. Function scope involves local variables and global variables. Local variables means which can be accessible only inside the function. Global variables means it can be accessible outside the function. Function hosting contains declaration and expression. The next one is closures. Closures involves inner function and preserves context. I have given an example here for function declaration and function expression. At last, I also given an example for arrow function. The next topic is what is the difference between where, let and constant. Basically, where, let and constant are used to declare variables. The main differences are given below. First, we have taken scope and hosting. For where, the scope is function scope and the hosting is done at the top of the function. But for the let and constant, it has block scopes but not hosted. The next one is reassignment and redeclaration. For where we can redeclare it and reassign it, but for where we can only reassign it but cannot be redeclared. In constant we cannot reassign or we cannot declare. The next difference is usage. In usage, vary involves legacy code and avoid using. In let, use for variables that change. In constant we use constants. Here also I given two programs to explain this let, vary and constant. This is for let and this is for constant. The next one is JavaScript modules. These are also reusable pieces of codes but export specific functionality. They also allow encapsulation, code reuse, improved organization, and simplified dependency management. There are different types of JavaScript modules. The first one is common JS modules. These are uses node.js exported using module.exports. The next one is ES modules. These are native JavaScript modules and can be exported using export and import. AMD, that means asynchronous module definition modules. These are used in older browsers and libraries. The next one is universal module definition, compatible with CGS and AMD. Here also given an example for exporting and an importing. Here the output is 5, but here only we are exporting the function, so the we only get the code is executed. The benefits are modular code, reusability, dependence management, and tree shaking. Modular code means it breaks down large code bases into smaller. Reusability means it can be shared across multiple applications. Dependence management means it can manage between modules. Tree shading, it can remove unused code to reduce bundle size. We use different module formats like JavaScript files, that is .js, and module bundles, that is .mgs. The tools and frameworks we use are Webpack, Rollup, and Node.js. Thank you.